Yeah, get started. All right, welcome to our fourth Alien Open Mic. So, you know, the universe always provides what you're supposed to, the path you're supposed to go on, not exactly the path you expect. So we're all here for a reason. So yesterday was the new moon in Taurus, and it's kind of a special new moon for me because it's in my sign. My sign is Taurus, and I was born on a new moon. So this is kind of like my moon phase, I guess. And there's a project, a really special project that I've been working on since 2011 called Shifting Circles. And I'm going to show a portion of that this evening for the first time. So I'm kind of excited about that. And there's some really special guests here that are going to watch it. And then everyone who sees it online, it's pretty neat. So I wrote a little bit about new moon because I always feel like it's a time of starting something, birthing something new, setting intentions and raising our hopes. For the next 2 weeks, the moon will gradually appear to grow in our night sky, moving through the waxing crescent, first quarter, waxing gibbous phases until it reaches the majesty of the full moon. This is when the first glimpses of successful manifestation can be seen. So the things that we launched tonight, they grow. Then the moon will seem to reduce in size again through the waning gibbous last quarter and waning crescent phases until we reach another new moon and start the cycle over again. It's a mystical, magical cycle that waxes and wanes with the rhythms of our lives. To take full advantage of the moon's manifestation potential, we need to fully understand the role of this celestial body in our lives. So the moon, it affects the waves and the tides, and we are also water, so it affects the tides in our own lives as well. It's like trying to capture the eternal light. On and on it shines until you've grabbed it by the tail. So I just think this is a magical time. And I have some people that have signed up to share today. They are not here yet. So I also have, if you listen to our last open mics, we have Bill down in Phoenix who sends me tapes or recordings from Zoltar. And these are channeled recordings this one came from 2008. So we're going to play, it's a little bit long, so I don't think we can play all of it, but that's the first thing that we're going to share tonight is the tapes from Zoltar. And I think I have to plug my phone in. Now, I haven't listened to this, so we're all gonna listen together. And thank you, Bill and Phoenix, for sending these to me, because it's really, really awesome to be able to share from a long distance. I'll get it, hold on.
Oh, so she's already working on it? Yes. Cool.
Yeah, she deals with the federation that monitors them. Because they're a federation affiliate, so they have to give up their archives to them.
Well, we talked to Velzator before, and she was saying that we tried once to get them into the federation, but they wouldn't come in to do with us or something.
Oh no, they're affiliates.
So they're not a member.
They're not a member, but they're affiliates. So they still have to be audited and things like that.
Audited.
Yeah. Meaning they have to give up their archives to Federation officials when they're asked.
Oh, that's good news.
Yeah.
So they're not in a position to refuse.
No, they're not. Because they're not members, but they're affiliates. Meaning that they let them through and they help each other out.
So is this all the archives, or like anything pertaining to Earth, they have to release?
Anything the affiliate needs. And that's your friend.
This could be very interesting.
Yeah, so they're getting that information for you.
Because I always thought that that they could refuse access to the archives.
No, that's an official. Now they can still refuse information to give if you put it on your site and stuff like that, but there's more he can tell you. There's still things that the official respects from Mars.
Okay.
Because they work together, but he can still give you information.
More than I would have been able to get otherwise?
Yes.
Well, Velzator has already given me, as well as Teak has given me some information about the ancient Mars-Earth relationship. And so possibly all that stuff is permissible. But I just...
all that your shits. Welcome.
Hello, Velzator.
How are you?
Hello, Velzator. Here's some fingers for you.
Oh.
Oh?
Oh. Are you sick?
A little bit.
Yes.
A little
Congested.
virus is crawling through my system.
Yes.
You don't have that problem, do you?
No, very disgusting.
I agree with you. I don't like it one bit.
Yes.
It's part of living on this earth.
Yes.
You know, we have to share this planet with them, I guess.
They crawl inside you. I am waiting for my friend to come in, all access to the archives. But I don't know what he's going to tell you and what he's not going to tell you. So, would you like to ask me a question until he comes?
Yeah, I've been wondering where to start.
Definitive questions, please.
Could I make a request of you?
Hello, Marcus.
Hello, Altai. Nice to meet you. It's better for us, we get a much clearer picture if we're able to get, instead of short yes or no answers, if we're able to get stories.
Oh, sure.
We love stories.
I love to tell.
Good. Like, the longer the better. As long as they're not too long. But like art history, you can teach it by just giving dates of various things that have happened, which is very boring. Or you can teach it by telling stories of leaders and battles and individual lives, how they've been affected, and things like that. And we would learn a whole lot more in the process. For instance, your world, Federation V, we would have no idea what it's like there on a day-to-day basis. And there's no way that we could ask the kind of questions that could give us that picture. But just say, like, telling stories of the lives of the beings that live there will give us an understanding of what their lives are like, what they do for fun, what their problems are, what their makes them excited, things like that. So,
Well, Federation B is very, very beautiful.
even more beautiful than the Earth?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Okay, so you have a lot of the same things we have: mountains, trees.
Yeah, mountains, we have trees, we have particulars, we have running rivers, ponds, but they go very, very deep. Very, very deep.
Now, we have water here. Is it like the same there? You have actual water?
Oh, yes.
Something else.
Oh, yes.
So water as a substance that's common
Yes.
throughout the occupied
Yes.
galaxies.
Yes.
And I'm getting down to basics here, I guess. But even air, we have air there. If I were there, could I breathe?
No, you would have to adjust. But we put limiters on you through your nose, and then you could breathe that way. We could breathe because we're used to it.
Well, let me a little further. Your world and the beings that live on it, you're not completely three-dimensional, are they? They're more than that.
Correct.
So it's like our world, but with much more added onto it.
Correct.
So like maybe cities in the higher dimensions that would like still be able to see the same mountains and the same waters, but on the lower levels you would be able to see the cities.
Correct, because they're locked.
Those frequency levels are locked.
Yes. You have to be at a higher standard, meaning clearances.
Okay, so you're describing a society where the population is divided into like a caste system, a little bit like ours.
Did you meet the commanders?
I'm in Velzator.
Yes. Okay, Velzator is in charge of a ship that's where its Federation be.
Yeah.
So you would have standards that you enter the city, but as lower levels can't.
Be the lower, like his crew members. The lower members, they wouldn't be able to leave the ship. They wouldn't even see the city.
They wouldn't be able to see the city because they're at a lower frequency until they are unlocked.
So it's not a process of what we would call ground earth spiritual evolution. It's more of a process. How do they go about being people?
It's when they get you would see promoted when they grow. It's different levels.
Is this a little like the Boy Scouts where you get your merit badges and you learn how to cook it and learn how to sew it? You get a badge for each one?
No, it's more like an interlocking. It's more like an interlocking, meaning it stays with you. You can't pass through the field.
It's more of
there's a field there. So if you're passing through the field, you don't know you're passing through it. You just feel normal, but about deep could open it up. So he would go into the next field.
there's a lady here who is in contact with beings, possibly from the same some of them. They talk at great length about gene codes and how we have all these gene codes that are locked in our system, which prohibit us from being able to see higher dimensions, be able to go through portals and things like that. And it's practice that we can go through exercises.
It's kind of like a portal, but it's not really because you just have to have a higher standard.
The standard is like, is it related to gene? I know you don't have genetics like we do, but is it maybe a higher form of that?
It's a frequency.
Well, those are the terms that she uses also. It's like a frequency. And it raises, say, the vibratory level of the entire body, so it's able to flow through to the next level. But if somebody were to try to do that without raising the body to that level, the higher frequency could destroy the body.
No, it's not like that.
Not like that.
It's almost like that, but not like that. Meaning it won't destroy your body, it will just pass right through.
Okay, it's a little like the discussion we had with Velzator about portals here on Earth. I got a gene code that allows me to enter the portal. If I were walking with somebody else out of the portal, they would just walk right through it.
Correct.
Nothing happened.
Correct.
So it's like that with these different levels of Federation beings. So you have cities at these different levels.
Correct.
So like the lower level,
we're not in dimensions, they're more just levels.
Okay. Anytime you have like two different realities superimposed one upon the other, we interpret that here as different dimensions. It's like our TV sets, like if you just change the channel on the side of the head, this one will disappear and another will take its place. But it's the same space that we were talking about.
Yes.
Okay. So the lower levels, they could have their cities in the same place that the higher levels would have their cities, and either party would be able to see the other party's cities. So the principle of the greater includes the lesser applies.
Correct.
So the lower would be able to see the higher, but the higher would be able to see the lower.
Correct.
So like if a lower level builds a skyscraper street were the same place that
Yeah.
Ireland
Yeah.
what would happen?
They would be able to see the skyscrapers coming through.
It would just be like living the same space with another reality. But they would.
But they could also close that as well. So they won't be able to see the features.
Okay, so it's good.
Yes. So turning your TVs off.
Yeah. Okay. How many of these levels are there?
But Federation B are all over.
Let's start with Federation B.
5,012.
5,012 different.
Yes.
Oh my God, that's a lot. And they're all like stacked in the same space.
There's city codes all over.
Like different cities, all over.
You have the main base where everybody goes to. And then from
Sorry. Okay. Okay. Oh my gosh. I won't touch the mic. Electricity is too much. Okay, so to give a little background about what was going on with those tapes, because it's a little bit, sorry, is this on? Can you guys hear me? Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So Bill down in Phoenix channels these beings, and he's been doing it since I think 2005. I could be wrong about that. That recording was from 2008, and they're talking to galactic being Velzator, I believe, and it is a being that's a part of the Galactic Federation. And as the tape goes on, they explain a little bit more about the relationship between Mars and Earth, the history of their relationship, and its place in the Galactic Federation. So I haven't listened to the entirety of that tape yet because it does run like an hour long, and but I will share that on the YouTube link. So if anybody is interested, sometimes there's little tidbits of information in those recordings that are really fun and kind of interesting to listen to. So I didn't know if is there anyone that's here? I haven't talked to everybody, but is there anyone here that signed up that I didn't chat with that wanted to share today? Okay. I just had to make sure that I wasn't missing something. I have a really exciting project to share. Should I do it, Alex?
Yeah,
Okay.
let's do it.
So this is going to be another one of those technical things. We're going to run the video through Alex's iPad, but the audio through my phone. So we're going to do like a 1, 2, 3 hit play thing. And so it's really kind of extra special that I'm sharing this tonight because my friend Luna is here, and I met her when I traveled to Siberia, and she was my translator. And the momentum behind the project that we were both a part of was partly Luna's mom, Svetlana, and another woman, Carol Hiltner. It was their lifelong projects kind of merged together. So Svetlana is one of the Altai leaders in Siberia. So I'll explain the region. The Altai is nestled between Mongolia, China, Russia, and Kazakhstan. So it's right in the middle of that area. It's very remote. Like Luna said, I don't know why anyone was coming here, but it's a beautiful area, and the indigenous people there have kept the knowledge of the land and the connection with the land for generations. And Svetlana, Luna's mom, has been really instrumental in spreading Altai culture to the rest of the world. And Carol happened to be from Seattle, and so she had bridged this this metaphorical bridge between Seattle and Altai, and really the United States and Russia. She had started in the Cold War and had made a peace quilt, and she took the quilt to the United States Congress and had them sign it, and then took it to the Russian government, and there were people there that signed it. So that quilt still lives in the Smithsonian today. So while Carol was in Russia, she had met Svetlana, and they worked on these projects together. And in 2011, I was working on a project called Shifting Circles, and we were documenting the shifting consciousness of humanity. We were a group of a loose group, but a soul group, I'll say, of indigenous leaders, energy workers, activists, human rights activists. There were scientists involved. There were lots of people, but they were converging in 2011 to have a special ceremony, and I think I'll leave it at that because the video explains it. Now, this is a work in progress, and it is the first time I'm sharing this, which is, like I said, kind of a big deal because this has been a long project. The project consists of, we have a website called shiftingcircles.com, and we have podcasts, we have interviews, we have YouTube channels, all these things that document this span of time. And it goes through many, many different places on the planet that I have personally visited and connected with. And this is just the first one, and this is when I went to Altai. And the fact that Luna's here right now while I'm like debuting this is just, it's pure magic. It really is. I can't even say all the things that have happened, circumstances that made this possible. It's just, how magic works. So, okay, do you have it queued up, Alex?
I do.
Okay.
I'm ready.
I don't think I'm ready on my phone.
Okay.
All right, Alex, I'm ready to hit play. Right. Like we could do the count of 3 or something.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. Lowering the screen.
The Altai is a remote area of southern Siberia that borders Mongolia, Russia, China, and Kazakhstan.
На самом деле сегодня Алтай во всем мире, да, можно сказать, для судьбы. Об этом Алтай говорит очень много. И сегодня я могу сказать, что Алтай развивается как туристический регион. И кроме того, есть большой интерес именно так этнографического составляющего.
The Altai is where ancestral Native Americans lived before they crossed the land bridge to the New World. It is considered the navel of the planet to the indigenous Altai people.
Но я думаю, что алтайцы это очень высокодуховный народ, именно что Я хотела бы сказать, что мы не создаем ни храмы, ни церкви, какие-то здания, такие своим деревьям, именно как живому организму. Мы не отвечаем, что вот этот человек живой организм, а природа не живой.
It is also known in the Tibetan Buddhist and Indian Hindu traditions as Shambhala, the mythical kingdom hidden in Inner Asia. His Holiness the Dalai Lama considers Altai the source of Shambhala.
Алтай не путь Шамбала, а я считаю, что Алтай это сама Шамбала. Потому что есть культура, которая создается как бы, людьми разных уровней.
In 2005, Svetlana founded her own nonprofit organization. She met a woman named Carol Hill. Carol and Svetlana worked to create a music festival that brought people together from all around the world to share the Altai culture. By 2011, Carol and Svetlana had created a synergy that was bridging Altai culture to the Western world. And that was when Carol decided to reach out to Peter Hetzel.
I get this call from this woman, and she had a connection with people going to the Altai, and she had mentioned that they'd like to have us go to the Altai. They liked the idea of what we were trying to do, and would we be interested in going to the Altai? Now, Altai, again, I knew nothing, but I remember hanging up the phone. I think this is possible, which I had no idea how it was possible. Put on my coat, walk outside to meet my friend, and we walk around Lincoln Park area. Anyway, so walking, telling my friend this, telling my friend, and then here's that girl with this purple shirt on again. So this with this Vancouver shirt. This is the second time I've seen you here in 4 hours. It's very rare in Chicago. And it turned out to be Krystal Kelly.
I had been on a self-guided children's book tour about a little bird who pooped art, and that day I was just wandering around Lincoln Park looking for bird poops. My motto is, I go where the day takes me. I had noticed Peter earlier in the day, and then seeing him for a second time was odd. Then he asked me if my shirt was from Vancouver, BC, and I said, yeah, I was there yesterday. And he said, so was I. We both knew it was special, and we took this picture. He tells me about Altai and says the organizer lives in Seattle, and I say, so do I. Learning about the expedition, I was immediately aware that this participated was in the Altai. The group was led by a mystic named Carol Hill. Her mission was to promote peace and healing. She had gathered a global group of energy workers. The list was diverse: a scientist from Canada, a few musicians, a sound healer, a Navajo wisdom keeper, a remote viewer, psychic channeler, caregiver, a human trafficking activist, and a separate group from Colombia, the Kojimos.
Someone contacted saying, so we're getting this group of Kojimos, and we're going to come through China because we have contacts there, and we'll meet you on Krystal Plateau. And that was kind of all I knew. I didn't know anything about the Kojimos at the time. But I kind of looked them up and realized that they were shaman priests from their area, and that it was amazing that they were leaving because they'd been there for hundreds and hundreds of years, and really since the recent Lord's came, they had secluded themselves into their mountains, and it's still extremely difficult to get there, and you're really not allowed unless you've been invited specifically.
Kiera had organized a global meditation where thousands of people all over the world were planning on meditating with the same intention of the expedition.
Carol held their event introduced me to Patricia and Davis, who's an Navajo speaker, and she was the one who designed the Gold Star meditation that we would all be doing alongside with the trekkers in the mountains. And Patricia was going to go on this trip as well.
The Gold Star meditation is an esoteric meditation that allows a person to access their own inner guidance and wisdom. This allows us the opportunity to be remembering and awakening to our original spiritual identity.
It was really impactful for me because I grew up in New Mexico, and my grandparents grew up in the Navajo reservation. She designed this meditation. She recorded it for me once we had a meditation, I was able to start contacting people and saying, this is what's wrong. This is why we're doing this collective attention at this time. And this is what you can do. So I started then emailing people who already had groups going on that weekend. This was in August. Once I started putting that energy out there and the information out there, I just felt like wildfire. And I was getting people saying, hey, we're going to do a group. We have like 20 people, we have 50 people, we have 120 people that we're going to have a weekend retreat. We'll do it. And it was just one after the other, people finding out about it, just through the intention, I think, was what resonated with the intention and said, yes, we're going to do it. So by the end of the planning phase, I kind of did a rough calculation. I think there's like 10,000 people, and they're all around the world.
It was a monumental effort by all involved, and I couldn't wait to document it. I felt honored to be involved, and despite having to leave my 2 young daughters behind for a full month, I was on a mission, and it was far bigger than a month away. The plan was to converge all together with the indigenous Altai leaders during a special planetary alignment and a full moon. The expedition was fulfilling worldwide indigenous prophecies about rebalancing spiritual human intention with the natural order. This was to accelerate a remembering and reawakening to harmonious living on Mother Earth for collective survival. So there I found myself on another cosmic planetary interaction. I felt that magnetic pull. I didn't have words at the time to describe it, but the Altai was part of my mission, and these energy workers were speaking words I felt in my heart. But things did not go the way I expected. How's the bag?
My pollinator actually lead for the train, Trans-Siberian Railway. Lost our tickets, so we had to buy them for a second time. It's all good. We'll get there. Here I go.
The logistics of the trip got worse and worse. When we arrived at the border to cross into the Ukak Plateau, myself and Patricia's border permits were missing. It was very strange. I had personally delivered all 7 border permits that were originating from Seattle to the Russian embassy on the same day in the same package. Regardless how it happened, Patricia and I were separated from the group.
It was really surprising for me that we were not allowed to cross the zone, probably that really worked in the way it should work, at that time.
It'll all be okay? Everything will be fine.
My sister told me.
Okay. Okay. All right. I had only spent 2 days with Tolene, but we were soul sisters. There was an instant, unexplainable connection that we had. Saying goodbye was hard.
I remember when I met you, when you guys just arrived to us, because you were quite different, totally different from a lot of people, from all of the group. You were always smiling, you were always like open to any kind of experience, like, okay, let's do this, let's explore this, okay, how it works and this, like making jokes. And it was really amazing to have you in the group, because at the time I was like really young, my English was not really good. Even now, but at that time it was even worse. And I always felt your support.
The instant that I saw you smiling, and I remember I gave you a hug, and I was like, oh, yay, this is going to be fun.
I
Everyone got across the border except for me and Patricia.
That particular day, for two different reasons, we were not on in their computer. In Siberia wilderness, we were not in their computer.
Right.
And we both then had to come back for a long time.
Before we left the border, which is in the middle of nowhere, Tolene, our interpreter, talked to a bus driver who was headed in the direction that we needed to go in, and told him where to go because nobody speaks English.
That was a very, we might say, serendipitous, we might say a spontaneous ceremonial time that we spent together. And we had just met and could relate in such a way that it could be stressful. I don't think that either one of us were stressed. So I think we were going to ride in the wilderness and in a place that it was beautiful. The landscape was beautiful. And then we're not hearing any English anywhere, all Russian everywhere. Truly everywhere.
Came in the middle of the night, pretty much. And Tolene's sister was here who doesn't speak English. But she made us some warm soup, and it was nice.
That long 6-hour drive back to Altai was unexpected, but it was a gift. The knowledge and wisdom that I was able to absorb during Patricia's conversation was deep.
Well, at a time like that, it's so magical too, because I see myself, I look at myself and I look at my surroundings and I think, I think I'm in a movie,
We weren't in a movie. Only we were the ones creating the story. And Patricia's stories were captivating me, and I was inspired to share the wisdom that Patricia was sharing with me. It was almost as if she was telling me things that I had known, but somewhere along the way had lost the knowledge. Patricia's teachings are vast and vastly important to broadcast, but they are also deep, and in order to respect tradition, it is appropriate to make a proper introduction.
Yes, thank you for inviting me, and it is appropriate that I introduce myself in a proper way that we convey to others spiritual identity, our lineage, our bloodline, our matrilineal, and that is our maternal and our paternal. My English name is a Welsh name because it's a label given to my father when he went to Indian school in Lawrence, Kansas. He met my mother. So Patricia Ann Davis, I'm going to say that in English. That's what I'm called. Shif-a-ya means that's what I'm called. Patricia Ann Davis and Chin. The Mississippi Band of Choctaw Regiment. Hachi Bush's Chin. And Chapma. And then Edisha Chin. Kia Ani Edisha. Although the Napiasha Regiment. Only Hitler. That is an affirmation of the fact that we're all a precious child of Creator within creation equal. And I always add that in my introduction. And so your timing is very good right now, especially with intergenerational transfer of treasure knowledge from elders to youth. And it's cross-cultural as well. And it's inclusive and also universal application. I'm happy that you have this opportunity yourself and the resources, the planning, and all of the people that support you in your creative endeavor to carry this out and manifest for the good of the people who are interested and who are committed in helping themselves and each other, and especially their future generation, to know that we don't have to continue in a path that's not good for us.
And the path that is good for us is not always what we expect. I'm not sure how awareness that I wasn't aware of emerged. The next morning, Patricia left for the border crossing, and I stayed behind before Altai. I didn't know how I would navigate the vastness of Siberia, but I was sure that I would be guided.
And I think that is how you create some freedom for other people that you meet. Like you're showing them there is something else, something more, something more colorful, living another level of life, another level of spiritual life. There is something in your eyes, there is something in your love. It's really inspiring. I'm very grateful to you, Krystal, to have you as a friend.
Sorry for a second.
Like to be connected.
I thought my purpose of going there was to document other people. And so when I ended up being by myself, I was like, wait, this is not what was supposed to happen, because I was supposed to be like, videoing other people. And then I realized that like it was such a bigger reason why I was there than just to like document. It was much deeper than that. And I think that, that is the way it was supposed to be. And I'm really grateful that it was that way, because I actually think about if I had been focused on documenting what everybody else was doing, I might not have gotten in touch with the like spirit of it so much, because I would have been distracted, by other things going on. And so, not having that distraction, which was kind of supposed to be my job, but it didn't. It was more personal and more, I guess, much more spiritual than I thought that it was supposed to be.
By the way, if I do this again, which I probably will, my next job will be Kiera. It's really hard to do this book.
The night of the full moon, Patricia and the others did a ceremony, while I did my own in the garden under the light of the full moon. There were beautiful, luminous beings that joined me. We sat together, and I knew, telepathically sending light to Patricia and the others, while I held the light of the universal council that my soul was attending. In the morning, while Anne was making me breakfast, I found a note in the house that I had not seen the day before. Dear Krystal, I know you haven't met me yet, but I was here the day before you arrived. I had a premonition that you might get separated from the group, so I went into town and bought you a Russian cell phone. Love and light, Jackie. It was certainly refreshing to travel with psychics. Carol said all our souls had been working together for lifetimes, and I felt that. The cell phone and synchronicities led me back home. The day I touched down in the United States, that was the day the Occupy movement started. Was it just a coincidence?
And that's because there's no coincidences. Carl Jung, being Swiss psychologist, was the only Western psychologist tried in his lifetime to integrate spirituality into Western psychology. Call this principle synchronicity. That means meaningful co-occurrence. When I was 8 years old and I was initiated by my own father in a healing practice, then I was also told very specifically to undo. That means to dismantle. It means to deconstruct the thinking. That's what my father told me, the thinking that caused for people so much violence and suffering. And he said it in just that way, that simple way. And so that's why I create opportunities to be visible, to educate. And that means that I am going into the public arena. The time is now means mass healing, and the way to do it is through mass media.
That trip was a gift, and it was also a lot to process, like afterwards, and to try to figure out like where that next step, goes after going on an adventure like that.
Yeah, that's so different as the work home, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
It is amazing. And it takes time to try to wrap it into a story, especially since it's endless. Each full circle moment elevates me to another shift, another layer, another dimension unfolds, and more layers of truth are exposed. I hope you join me as I join with you to another shifting circle.
So,
Let me get these out of your eyes.
Test, test, test. Test, test. Test, test, test. Okay. Test, 1, 2. Test, test. It's not good. I'll just, it's all good. Okay. So, sorry. I don't know why I said sorry.
It is. Oh, there.
Oh,
It's working. Okay. So I had something else. Okay. So a lot of I'm sure some people are wondering why I would be sharing indigenous wisdoms while we're talking about aliens and extraterrestrial occurrences. And really the point that I'm trying to make is that we have this knowledge that exists on this planet, and there are caretakers of this knowledge, and they've been keeping it safe for many, many years. And we're finally starting to get to the point where if we really want to access certain parts of humanity, some loving parts of humanity, some gifts that we have, like psychic awareness and using our whole brain, I think it's really important to dive into these ancient wisdoms. And people like Svetlana and Patricia and Davis and many, many other indigenous people throughout the world that I've had the absolute pleasure and gift of talking to and interviewing them. And I'm just really excited to be able to share this finally. Timing is what it is. And when I was there in 2011, I didn't think it would take me till 2023 to get this out, but that's just the way it is. And now all the footage that I have from all the years and all of it, it's all starting to come together, and we'll release it as timing allows. So I do believe in divine timing. So I think that it is supposed to be when we're supposed to listen to this. And had something else I was going to say about it. Now I can't remember. Does anyone have any questions or? Luna, did you want to say anything? Come say it on the mic, because then we can hear it online too.
Hey guys. So yeah, I have a really big pleasure to stay here and to share exactly this moment with you, because it is really meaningful, at least for my life and for my family. What Carol bring to our people, and for sure that was like, even if it is kind of small step, like as they say, right? For us it was like really really big, and at that time I was like kind of child, and I remember like the memories they bring me here actually, and here I am, right? And there was something that showed me that, like, the world is very big, and you can usually find really nice, open-hearted people with open minds, and whatever, like, you were born, wherever you were born, and whatever, like, you have your own life experience. Maybe we have different languages, traditions, religions, whatever. But what really matters, person, like what do you believe in, and how you're gonna spend your life, and what kind of values you share with other people. So thank you, Krystal, for your hospitality, and you guys. It is a really amazing place, and I can see with my own eyes that it really works, and I hope that you guys will keep doing what you do now, and that truly really matters. Thank you.
I do think it really matters. Like I think everyone coming together, whether people are watching online or here, or watching it in the future, because what happens now does affect the future, and we're shifting, and the world is changing, and embracing change. I think Peter might have been rapping about that a little earlier. Embracing change is really important, because I think the shifts will start getting bigger. They start out small, and they just keep going. So, and it is endless. So it's exciting to share. And I do want to also thank Alex, because he really helped me with the production of getting this going. I've worked in TV production since I was 18 years old, but for whatever reason, this project just kept hitting roadblocks and things. And so all the help from everybody has really enabled us to launch it and to try to get it out there. So it is super exciting. Peter, did you want to share any delightful stories that you have? He does. Peter always has great stories. And I don't know, I didn't ask Alex if he wanted to share it too, but okay. All right. Yeah, whenever you're ready. You can play music if you want, or whatever you're ready for.
Yeah, so I always try to at least tell one of my, I would say, otherworldly experiences every one of these open mics, because I've had a really weird life as a kid. So we want to wind this back to 1997. I think I had just turned 7. It was fall, and typical back then, before things had started changing on the planet, October early birthdays was always cloudy days, dark blue days, and it was, and especially from like stormy night. And I woke up let me turn the music down just a little bit. So I had woken up in the middle of the night, and in my household, I was sleeping by myself in my room, and the way my bed was facing was looking right at my closet. Now, I'm a particular person, so a particular Peter kicks in, and I always close the closet door. But this time, I woke up in the dead of night, and the street light that shone into my window and really illuminated my room like a nightlight was off. It was the first thing I noticed, and it was eerily still. There was no wind, there was no kind of storm outside. It was just this darkness in my room. And as I kind of allowed my eyes to adjust, I look across and I see that my closet's halfway open. Instantly, my heart starts pounding. I can't even talk, I just have this immense pressure. Now I know it in hindsight, and as I'm older and used to these things, it was an immense energy. It was very, I would say, strong. It's probably the best way to put it. And my body wanted almost like a fight or flight mode. And unfortunately, mine chose freeze. So as I close my eyes and open them again, I see this large face. It was a silhouette almost of like an oval, and those stereotypical like almond dark eyes. And it was just staring back at me in the darkest depths of blackness that my closet had. And it felt to me almost like, come play with us, like come over here, like come on, hey. And I freaked out. Obviously, you're a 7-year-old. I'm sitting there, teeth rattling. I'm trying to mutter a scream, but I can't even scream. And I finally just closed my eyes, and I managed to bring my covers up to my eyes and say, "No, thank you. Please go away." And as I take my blanket back down, the face is no longer just by itself in the closet. It's now half of the face sticking out from the wall. And it just kept staring at me. And I just feel this pressure. And I just, as it worked once, tried it again. I said, "No, thank you, please go away. I don't want to go. I don't want to go." And as I take my covers back down, the face was gone, but the closet was halfway open. So I tried it one more time and said, "Please go away." The closet was a quarter closed. And then one more time, the closet's all the way closed. And as I'm sitting there, like finally taking a breath of just like sigh of relief, like the street light turns on. I screamed. My dad runs in the room, says what's going on, and I can't even say anything. I'm just looking at him, just terrified, and he's just like, "All right, well, you're fine. Go to bed." Now, we fast forward 3 weeks, and I had this toy that was like almost like one of those little remote control car, like early toys. It was like a little transformer thing. And it would turn on and illuminate itself in like this red light. And it would say like, "I am something, something, what is your command?" So I could tell it to come forward, move, turn in a circle, and would kind of follow me. And again, particular Peter, notorious, turn all my toys off, put them in their spots, get them all put away neat and orderly, Libra, balance, always had a clean room. But again, in the middle of the night, I wake up and the street lights off again. And then out of nowhere, that toy props up and illuminates in the middle of the night. It had red eyes, so it was actually creepy as a child. And again, it says like, "I'm something, something, what is your command?" Blood curdling scream, just like loud as it could be. My dad bolts into the room. He goes, "What's wrong, Peter? What's going on?" And I just went, "The toy talked." And he looked at me, he's like, "You probably just left it on." I was like, "No, I didn't leave it on." And I'm a very observant person, was always like that as a kid. And the look of fear in my dad's face when he turned that toy around, I knew it was off. And so did he. And he looked at me, he goes, it's off, go to bed." And he closed it and I just put it in the corner. And when I went over and I just kind of like crawled over there and it was still off. He didn't touch the button, it was off. So I've always had weird experiences as a kid. And I've expressed some of the stories I've had as an adult. But there's always been a little ET weird, strange component of just like observation. But thankfully, I never really went on the ship or anything like that, at least to my knowledge. I've had many nights of just like weird sleep paralysis and just like weird dreams and blackouts of things. So, yeah, that's a story of childhood Peter.
Not at all. Not at all.
So, you know, I agree. I've had so many things like in that little short that you just watched. I said I knew I would be guided because I definitely feel a guide that has, I guess you could say, has my back. And it's a good feeling. It gives you confidence. It's also a little mysterious because I had this, and this gets revealed later in Shifting Circles, but I had a similar story in 1996 where I saw this bright light that it stayed with me for so long, and all I could remember was that everywhere out of my peripheral, everything was this light. I couldn't see anything else but this light, and that was the only memory I had of it. And a couple years ago, I decided to. I also had missing time after that. I didn't. I was driving down a road in Arizona, and then the next thing I remember was being at the Mariners spring training, which is where I had been headed. And so it just was this big mystery to me, and I did some regression hypnosis, and I remembered it, and you wondered, did you make this up in your head? But it is so real now to me. I felt this pull, and I was pulled into a ship, and there was a bright light all around me, and this being that was like a mother, like a mother of all mothers, and she was so warm and so welcoming and just caring. And then I had the paralysis. I couldn't move. There were other beings there with that mother being, and they were more typically like what I hear people describe gray aliens. Like, I kind of thought of them as robotic, but they were tinkering with my body and doing things, and I was told that they were fine-tuning my the crystal parts of my body, which are, I think, I'm deducing DNA parts, crystallizing them. And so, yeah, I just have some interesting experiences that happen through the course of my life. And I really, I do this from the absolute bottom of my heart so that everyone can share these experiences, because like Peter said, it's kind of strange. You think of these things when you're a kid, and then you just maybe put them in the back of your mind and you don't say them again. And so I do think it's really important that we share it and we document it. And that's why we go live and we record it, and we can come back to it and learn from it, and sharing the human experience. There's a lot of mystery and magic out there, and we're all just trying to discover our own truth, I guess. So thank you so much for being here. That's okay. This is my soul. Probably a few hours. I don't feel safe to tell my friends about how I feel. The last time we talked about it, I told them I'm free.
of everything. Took a few shots, then you left. If only they knew how quick I run to you if you left. Little blue messages keep me up. And I said to it, oh, God forbid words are too much. Lost in you. Asked me to now you're gone, gone, and I'm broken, but I'm moving along, and it's hard, but I'm going, this road's too long. Oh, you were a mess, I'm made of everything. Took a few shots in the air. If only they knew how quick I'd run to you if you left. Oh, you left. Yeah.
Do we have anything else?
Yes, play another one.
Yeah. I
That
don't
was
have anything else on my phone. That's mine. I'm trying to remember.
Picture was happy, best friends in the backseat. On the way home, yes, crying the fight. Mistakes that I can't let go. All these apologies, all I'm gonna call you, bring back to me. I know always still have to try. I hope you know that I know what I did was wrong. Is this or some kind of nightmare? I remember the code. Is this or is this or some kind of nightmare? Will I wake up next to you? Tell me was all just a bad dream? That none of it is true. Lose me. It's alright. Do you love us laughing? It's just you and I. The on in the corner, up there in the left, in your eyes. All these apologies won't bring you back to me. I know, but it's worth the try. I hope you know that I know what I did was wrong. Is this or some kind of nightmare? Will I wake up next to you? Tell me it was all just a bad dream. Then I don't remember my own song. Lose me if you try. It's alright. Okay, so you remember this part again? I don't wanna waste my time 6 times in a row. I don't wanna waste my time sitting back wishing you were still mine. But I can't help myself. You're all I ever think about. Can't go a day without you running through my mind. Is this or some kind of nightmare? I wake up next to you. Tell me it was all just a bad dream. That none of it is true. Lose me if you try. It's alright. Thank you. These are 2 of my songs that I wrote. And those are the only 2 that I remember. I should probably use that as a warning sign because I have to play them next week without any paper or anything.
Where? Tell everybody where.
I'm playing at Folklife on May 28th at the Mural Amphitheater stage. So it's in front of a big mural. And everybody should come. It's at 4:30 p.m.
Yay! Woo!
Kiera. Thank you, Kiera.
I remember when you were just.
A subject pulled from the bowl was time.
Ooh.
This is a pretty good one. We talk about time, yes, you know there's no need to rewind. We can define just going like we do. But you really know time be flowing like a river. Ooh, but you really know we just came to be caught up in the moment. It's the only eternal real thing in life. It's the experience. It's kind of trippy when you look at it. It's kind of like a divine film, you know, with perfect timing. When the stars go and push like every alignment, doesn't really matter, but you know it's all about the divine timing. And I just know I'm around like my girl. We did what we really do. Let's change the flow. It's not about time through. Say time is a new thing that everyone really needs one. I guess we can say it's the one thing we don't get back. So we can say that time is the highest commodity if you look at it. So let's think about it like that. Say time will be precious. We can't get it back. No looking back. Just moving forward all the things that I want you. You know, can you be wild when you think about it? When we go to sleep, we think we can dream, but what do? We just leave our bodies and go out in souls because we sit in the way. It's kind of a continuity, but it's all an eternal thing. Kind of go forward, backwards. Now all at once. Everything exists in the zero. Oh gosh, no. Turn it like whose line is it anyway? That's some swirly loops. That might have been a baby picture. Stage. Doesn't really matter what you look at it like life is one big stage. Everything is really all about me and in the pocket. What you really know, I'm gonna drop it. Some knowledge, some facts. Doesn't matter if I'm rapping. What you really know, I'm talking about lips flapping. Every time I'm looking at stages, I'ma think I'ma be up there one day. And I just know I say I'ma be up on the main stage too. What you really know, life be the movie room. Every time I'm going to it. Because I'm rocking in the time and it's perfect alignment, like the last rap said, it's all divine. What you really know up on the stage is fine. STAGE, you know, ain't nothing about ages like stages. Because you really know we evolve differently like the other one too. But it doesn't really matter what we do, there's something through what you really know about stages of life, everything be all about the changes you see. It's all about progressions. Oh, what you really know, like that one commercial said the Geico, everything be safe now. What you really know, wow, like when we're growing up like a little child and we go through the stage of adolescence, entering the teenage years, you know, the ones where we're really reckless. Doesn't really matter if you get tongue-tied. I'ma go and handle myself. What you been doing when up on the mic, you go cruising. Cause I'm talking about another stage. The one that's self-doubt and the self-hate in the teenage years when you grow out of it. And some do, I guess there's other people that don't. Living like every day is the same stage trapped in the moment. But you really know I don't know. It doesn't really matter though, cause I like my stages glowing and showing. Cause life be a stage every moment now. I'ma step up to the lights like wow. I'ma go up in the moment that you really know we own it. I'ma go and say something like stages every day. Cause life is kind of like a video game, and everything you level what you really think you say. Doesn't matter, I'ma just go what I know. All about the flow, I go up in the zone. Wow. Cause the moment is now. What you really know, you like that style. It's pretty wild, and I'm like running out of breath. So just take an inhale. Release. The stages of breath, you know I'm holding my breath. The stages of breath, you know I'm losing my breath. Doesn't really make much sense, but when you look at stages of breath, you can take the inhale and hold it. And you can prolong the stage of the breath itself in order to induce different effects in the body. So the stage is everything that matters. Everything's in that pocket, that perfect time, and everything be a stage. Like a sage, I guess. That's all I got on stages. Worm. Would you like a worm? What you think you know? Go and get that perm. Like Friday said, what you doing, Craig? You know you own the money. What you really think is funny? Doesn't matter what we do. Gonna get it going like the crew. Gonna realign everything going perfect time. Once we pivotal to the earth, breaking things down, but you really know making soil fertile is fun. Don't really wanna curse the thing, but you really think you never play, cause I'm gonna break it down like the worms. What you really think I'm gonna get it like some. Ooh, can't say that one. That'd have been a little weird.
What was it?
I was like, sure, but I think that's like PCP or some shit. I don't know anything about that.
That's way past my expertise. But you know, I really like to garden, so worms and me be like this. Fantastic.
Mine. Phantasmagoric.
Phantasmagoric. Please define.
Well,
Can you use it in a sentence?
it's like out of this world.
Okay. Phantasmagoric.
Explain about your trip.
Phantasmagoric would be like life. Every moment is a blessing. Everything is whimsical when you live in grace. You know you live by faith that people trust. Phantasmagoric, but you really know I'm gonna adore it. As I'm looking at the moment, we're living to say that we live in. Looking at the moment, I'm gonna say that we live in. Phantasmagoric. Phantasmagoric. Get it one more time, say it first. Phantasmagoric. Gotta love when you learn new things. Because I look at it like I'm on the Peter Wow. What you really know, I'm gonna rock the style. Phantasmagoric. Like a backbeat, what you really know that is whimsical, no defeat. Because you win in every step, every moment. What you really know in life, I'm gonna go for all it. Phantasmagoric. It be your best gift. What you really know, it's all great, so now the trip. Cause there's no misstepping, no saying no. What you really know, just moving on every little flow. Every slice of that will be phantasmagoric. Because you really living that life, I adore it. Ooh, phantasmagoric, what you really think I just adore it. Life is bliss, what you know about this guy. Every time I do remember go and say, phantasmagoric, you know you own it. I adore it, life is cool, truly blessed gift. You can give same praise, what you think you know, I'm gonna live with everything. Phantasmagoric, what you really know, I explore it. What you really get is we all adore it. It's life you feel, you so beautiful. Everything is magical when you say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Life unfolds so magically, categorically. What you really be on the good account. What we do doesn't matter when we cruise. When we going like it on the air, categoric. Ooh, I adore it. Life is dope. Yeah. Phantasmagoric, everything is magical, beautiful, beautiful. Ingrained in my brain. Phantasmagoric, ooh. Phantasmagoric, ooh. But we say life is a trip, please don't make a mistake. No, just stay and be what you think. Go and give your feet shine. Phantasmagoric, be what you really be. Such a divine being. Phantasmagoric, ooh. We all adore it, how it's done. Phantasmagoric, I adore it, ooh. I can tell the addiction game, but you really think he said, I'm learning new words every day. Phantasmagoric, ooh. Yeah, phantasmagoric, ooh. Phantasmagoric.
Okay, so let's try some rocket.
Rocket, granola, and peace. Right, let's make it happen. So the hook has to be about rockets.
Switch the beat up. Switch the track up. Not because I don't like it, but just for fun.
I can't reach my phone number. practice with it. Granola bring peace to the world, but you really know we can escape on the rocket ship. But you really know I'm gonna rock this ish. I'm not gonna say I'm breaking it down in the morning when I'm really hungry, thinking about what I want to fill my tummy. I'm a fiend and some granola. It brings peace to the mind, and it's so divine. I'm rocking it up in the sky, cause I'm really going, filling up my cup with that life. It's called a blessed gift, one can say. But you know, I'm always rocking in that praise. Gratitude in action is how I define it. But we're talking about peace and granola and rockets. So let's try to get something like this. We bring peace to the world, like a rocket ship going in the world. What you really know, gonna change that flow, gonna give it a take two. What you really gonna do? Bring peace to the world, we're gonna own it. Come together over a bowl of that granola bowl. Nah, I don't like that either. What you really heard? Say take three. Living in that peace. What you know, we're gonna spread it like. These can say when we flock, and I don't really know what we're gonna do. Okay, I think I got it. Yeah, I'ma go and rock it up. But you know I'm spreading peace and I fill your cups like the morning time when we moving on that granola. What you gonna own them? Ooh, I kinda like it. We're getting close. We're kinda getting here close. Yeah. Say, take 4 or 5 at this point. Say, I want to ride up in the rocket and spread peace to the world, and I'm locking it in. And I'm gonna go and give people that bread, like you're waking up and you got some granola in your cup, but you know you can't get enough. Got me up, talking about that love and light. Say, whoever wrote these got really nice word letters, and I'm really talking about it. I'ma go a little jelly in my zone, because my writing's kinda like little chicken scratch. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm gonna go and take 5, but we can modify it a little bit. Say, I'm gonna go and rock it up. Spread peace around the world like a glove. Spread peace around the world like a suggestion. Spread peace around the world like a. Say, ooh, beat change, so I'm gonna go and change the word real quick. Or just
Go with the regular free. Start pulling words.
ooh, teenage panda. Fire.
Those are all my words.
I think I got something. We're gonna do a little storytelling. Oh yeah. This is my freestyle playlist. I listen to this while I drive to clients in the car. They just rap. So one thing that I used to do when I was working with kids is that I would tell them stories, and they would always remember them, but I wouldn't, because I was just making them up as I go. So we're gonna do something pretty similar like this. Once upon a time, there was a teenage panda, kind of a mischievous little critter, got into a lot of trouble. We're gonna tell a little story time about that panda. You can call him Curtin. When the homie was going with the bamboo, now I'm on the ish going what he do. We rolling down the hill, down a little stumbly, bumbling the ground, rocking in the town. Rocking in the town, go with the take 2. But you really know Curtin was that teenage panda, so he was feeling like he wanted to get into a little cup of that sweet, delicious bamboo. But the owner didn't know that he was in his car. Took him in the town and he kinda was a little shocked when he turned around. Seen the teenage panda, said, Curtin, wow, what you doing, bro? Why you swimming in my car, eating on my bamboo? Know what I'm trying to do? Just wanna slang a thing or two, trying to make some money for my family. What you doing? I can't see you here. You gotta go back to the mountains. Why you being mischievous, you little panda? And the Curtin said, because apparently they can talk, listen, when you say each other, call another time through the heart. Curtin said, I was really hungry. I just wanted to get a bamboo when you had the juiciest pieces. And then the owner of the cart was like, oh my gosh, I wasn't paying attention to the road. I was talking to the panic behind me. And he crashed into a woman making little cakes on the side of the road. And take two, take a breath. And he ran into this little lady cooking cakes on the side of the road. And his cart blew up, and you know it was like the 80 movies walk away. Whoa, when the explosion just went up like out of flames, and you had the cool music intensity. The moment when the panda was like, whoa, this got a little too serious, and we go back to the mountain. When the sound fire flew and he was kind of moving around, knowing that he messed up this homie's real round and trying to get the money rolled. But he just went in her town with homies, girl. He said, hey, I can dance for you, just play some music. But you really know I'm gonna go and learn and prove it that I can make you some money. Sorry about the cart bamboo distraction. I guess we'll just call it with that. I'm not really sure what that meant, but thanks for playing with me. This was interesting practice. There's like 2 more words in there, so we might as well just finish the cut. So we're gonna end story time first.
Oh, there's 3 more. It's perfect.
I'm gonna say one more thing too.
Encased.
Purple. Encased purple. Greens. Ooh. So you guys can learn a fun fact. Greens in black household is collard greens. And my brother told me that it was seaweed when I was little, so I wouldn't eat it because I thought it was gross. It took me 12 years before I realized he was a liar. Greens are delicious. I said on 12 years of delicious greens eat. So, encased purple greens. Encased purple greens. When we look at the self, what we can identify, the origin of emotions, the place where they don't lie, but we can say that they lie within the body. So, encased in the purple light is the feeling of my heart. Yes, it's shining bright. When I eat them greens, yes, you know they're really yummy. Nutritious too, what you really do, because it brings that nostalgia to my heart. Around the holidays, yes, I knew it from the start that the connection over the bowl of greens is making that energy sing. You know about that? In case purple cloud, when you shine real bright, yeah, you feel the happiness. Yes, you really know that it's feeling like bliss. I gotta hit with all the greens on my time. Yes, you know they tasting so divine. You know they say, I'm loving that shine, baby, you know it's fine. Encased in the body, you can say so many little stars just shining. Hey, something up to like a genie bottle. You really can get it, it's the body, know how to let it shine bright. Sing from my heart, yes, so in the light. And you when you see the purple light shining bright, delightfully, when you go and eat things of greens. When I'm in the zone talking about some old school soul food, what you know? So when we're gonna talk about the soul food, I'ma go and shine real bright with the purple light. Cool.
I love it. So this is something that Peter and I have talked about extensively, and something that Alex and I also have talked about. So it might seem like this is just an open mic, and you know, maybe not a whole lot of people show up, but guess what? It isn't really always about the numbers. It's about the connections that we make when we're here, and it's about the soul that we bring. And part of this open mic is part of a bigger project, and it is about rejuvenating the Seattle culture, the arts, the music, and we are forming a project called the Seattle Rejuvenation Project. And in the next few weeks, few months, you're going to be hearing a lot more about it. And I just wanted to say that this is something, it's a part of something bigger and a part of a vision of where we really want to be the Emerald City again. We want to be alive. We want to have music going in cafes and in restaurants. We want to be what we know Seattle has the soul of. We want to melt that freeze. And yeah, so I just wanted to mention that it's so important and so delightful and amazing that everyone shares their music and their spoken word and their stories and all the things that we have to share, because that's really what it's all about. So.
Great.
Oh, yeah, like Josh's series. He's like funny, you know, he works on profit. He's really excited for his baseball team.
I can't help myself when I see the mic up on the stage, cause I really like the beats playing from the speakers and the sound make me really want to go with my feet like wow. Like when I'm earthing in the grass, bird up in the toes, yes it's funny, peace at last, but you really know the energy blasting through what you really trying to do, it doesn't matter what they say, the boy closes his eyes when he's up on the stage, and the light don't lie, cause it's shining bright, but it's really not the light, it's come overstimulation and I'm feeling like my senses blowing up, but you know it's kind of trippy, yes it's trippy. When you got so many members of the rooms looking back at you, it'd be so divine with all the goddesses in the room. What you really can do, yes, you know that boy blue, what's really flowing now, what you really growing now. That's really all we do. Growing away from childhood, like every single day, maybe that's an A though. But you really know that the conversation is the lesson. Damn, you trying to buy me. Just want to say to everyone watching online, thank you, Freshy, for hosting the 4th quarterly Alien Sufon Open Mic. Those of you watching online, thank you for joining us this evening, morning or night. Other than that, we want to say everyone have a good night. Be sure to tip your baristas and baristas. Thank you, Mike, for being a busy gathering, spending love and light here in Seattle, Washington. Good night.